In order to use the Select Data Source dialog in a more advanced way, you'll need to understand how Excel automatically divides a range of data into data series and categories. Let's look at the range we've been using so far in this session. Excel interprets this data as having three data series, that's January, February and March. In this example, each data series has three values. For example, the January data series has the three values 21,600, 19,200 and 10,800. Now let's see how, by default, Excel would chart this data. The values are plotted along the left-hand vertical axis, sometimes referred to as the y-axis. Each of the values in a data series are associated with a category. This is simply a label that identifies each value in the series. For example, the January series value of 19,200 belongs to the Europe category. The category is shown along the bottom horizontal axis, sometimes referred to as the x-axis. Now you may already be thinking, why doesn't Excel regard January, February, March as the categories and USA, Europe, Other as the data series? Well, Excel can take this alternate view of the source data. Here you can see that the categories are now January, February and March, and that the three data series are USA, Europe and Other. And as you'll see later in this lesson, Excel allows you to instruct it to take either view of the source data. And when Excel charts the data in this way, you can see that the chart has changed. Instead of January, February and March appearing in the legend, USA, Europe and Other now appear in the legend, and January, February and March have now become categories. Well, now that you understand that Excel can take two different views when looking at the source data for a chart, we're ready to move on to the lesson. For this lesson, you need to open the sample file World Sales 8 from your Sample Files folder. At present, Excel regards months as data series and regions as categories. So you can see that the months are shown along the bottom of the x-axis and the regions are shown in the legend. I'm now going to switch the rows and columns so that Excel will regard the regions as data series and the months as categories. Let's do that now. I click just inside the chart to activate it, Chart Tools Design on the ribbon, and in the data group, switch row column. And when I click, you can see that now, instead of January, February and March being shown along the x-axis, we're seeing USA, Europe and Other, because they've now become data series. And in the legend, we're seeing January, February and March, because the months have now become categories. All that remains for this lesson is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name World Sales 9. And as usual, I'll save to the folder above my Sample Files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed Lesson 513, Understand Data Series and Categories.